This story first came to our attention a couple weeks ago. Obviously, it's been a story all year long since he showed up at the quarterback position for North Texas in his bowl game this past year in the Serve Pro First Responder Bowl against Texas State, and he balled out. And now North Texas is 8-1 this year. The quarterback of North Texas, Drew Mestemaker, kind enough to join us right here on the program.
Sir.
How are you, Drew? Good to see you, sir.
Good to see y'all too.
I mean, listen, I could ask you a whole bunch of questions about your story, but I'd love to walk our audience through it. So you're from Austin, Texas, correct, sir? That is correct?
Yes, I am.
All right. And what high school did you go to there, Drew?
I'm from Vandergrift High School.
Vandergrift High School. Okay. And you first started a game at quarterback at that high school when, Drew?
My freshman B team.
So what grade were you in when you started for your freshman B team?
I was ninth grade.
Ninth grade. Okay. So, and then the next time you started at quarterback was when, Drew?
Against Texas State in the bowl game.
There you go. See, we've set the table. So you went from freshman B team at your high school, Vandergrift High School, right, in Austin?
Yep.
To starting for your North Texas Mean Green against Texas State in the bowl game on January 3rd of this year.
Yeah.
Okay. You were back up to one player who is a catcher now at Baylor, and then you were back up to somebody who's now the starter at Louisville, right? What were you doing in that time, Drew?
I mean, I was always training. I was, ready to be put in and get my opportunity. And, it just never came. And I was ready whenever that opportunity would happen. And, it never happened at the high school level, but I didn't let that, end my dream of being a quarterback. So I'd say the opportunity of being here is better than getting in high school. So I'm happy.
I understand that, but you were playing other positions though, right? You weren't just standing there with a clipboard, correct?
No, I was playing safety and corner, and I played special teams. I was a punter, so I kind of just did everything I could to get on the field.
While hoping that you would get a shot at quarterback that never came as a starter in your high school. What made you walk on at North Texas then? Walk me from that to that moment.
Well, I was planning on going and playing JUCO, junior college out in California, and I was pretty dead set on that. And then, I was just kind of like training on my own, and I got an Instagram DM to go to this quarterback trainer who was going to be at Lake Travis. So I was just throwing on my own at that time. So I figured I might as well go see what it's all about. And I went with him for about a week, and then probably the third time I went to train with him, he got me in contact with Jeff Christensen, who trains Patrick Mahomes, Baker Mayfield, all those guys. And so he got me set up with Coach Morris because of that connection. And Coach Morris and Coach Brophy, the quarterback coach here, called me and said, we don't have a spot for you right now on the team, but if someone quits after spring ball, they were like, we'll have a walk-on spot for you. So that's kind of how I ended up here.
Well, and you're referring to Coach Morris, your head coach, Eric Morris, who knows a thing or two about quarterbacks as the former head coach at Incarnate Word, where he brought Cam Ward on, and then went to Washington State as an offensive coordinator where there was a kid named Mateer. So he knows quarterbacks, to say the least, and he gives you a spot to walk on to North Texas. So now walk me through last year, Drew Mestemaker, where you were just walking on, and then what happened when you walk on there?
So I showed up the summer of last year, probably as QB6 on the depth chart. And I knew had to prove myself because they had seen nothing. I had no film. I had to prove it to myself also at that point that I belonged here. And, so I just took it one day at a time and grind it every day. And, throughout the summer, we do our little summer, OTA workouts where it's like we kind of do a little football but it's more just working out. So throughout the summer, I didn't really move much, and then fall camp came around, and I was still going with the young guys. So I was like getting the fours and fives reps out there, and then probably about halfway through, I'd been doing pretty good. So they moved me up, and they'd sprinkle me in with some twos reps, and just see how that went. And then towards the end, I really had a pretty good fall camp. And towards the end, I was splitting twos reps with the other guy that they had recruited in my class. And so we were technically like co-backups until probably about halfway through the year until I was fully the backup to Chandler.
To Chandler Morris, who went to Virginia in the portal just before your bowl game, the Serve Pro First Responder Bowl versus Texas State. Walk me through the moment Coach Morris told you you were starting that game, Drew Mestemaker.
Well, we kind of didn't really know if Chandler was going to stay. We didn't know how that all was going to turn out, and so we had like a workout, and I went down into the locker room, and my phone was blowing up, and all my friends were texting me, and I was like, what's going on? What is this all about? And I saw Coach Morris's text, and he said, come up and talk to me in my office. So I went up, and it was him and our quarterback coach. They said, you're going to be starting the bowl game for us. And, that was just surreal to hear that and to, just to be in that moment. And then that same day, he also put me on scholarship. So that's the day I'll always remember.
I bet. Were you still 18 at the time, or were you 19 as you are now?
I was still 18.
18 years old. You got called into the office, and you were told, hey, your last start was freshman B as a ninth grader, but you're starting the Serve Pro First Responder Bowl against Texas State. And all you did, I'll say it so you don't have to crow, 448 total yards, 393 yards in the air, 2 touchdowns. And you also had a 70-yard touchdown run, down 30 to 21 to make it 30 to 28 in the late stages of that game. And then what did you do right after that run, Drew Mestemaker? Come on now. What did you do right after? Share with everybody. Go ahead.
Yeah, I visited the trash can on the sideline real quick.
You were looking for what was in the. You left something in the trash bin, correct, Drew? Lunch? Was it lunch? Was it breakfast? Was it
in the trash can?
You can't make it up. You cannot make it up. But then again, what was that like for you to perform in that game? Even though you did not win, I understand you did not win, but you clearly showed you had it in that game.
Yeah, I think back to it, and I honestly don't remember a lot of it. Like it was kind of just like living on a high and just kind of like going with the flow. I mean, after that run, I like just blacked out. Don't even remember what I was doing until I had to, visit the trash can. But just to go through that and kind of have that experience and be able to show out in that opportunity, it something I'll always remember.
And you still had to win the job this summer, which you did. The team is now 8-1, by the way, guys. You look at your stat lines, and I understand, again, it's a team effort. 8-1 is what you're most proud of, and I understand that, okay? And as well you should. You had, against Charlotte, a 608-yard passing game. Drew, did you wake up, dangerous that day like Baker Mayfield? What was that day like for you?
Well, I don't know if I woke up dangerous. I think as a whole team, we did not wake up dangerous that game. We kind of came out pretty slow, and but I think just having the guys that'll go out there and make plays, I got to give credit where credit's due. I threw a 3-yard pass and one of my receivers took it 70. So, having guys that'll go out there and make plays and, just, you're always on the same page as them, and it makes it easier to, I guess, have a game like that.
Hey, you made it all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Check us out every single day streaming live on Disney Plus and the ESPN app 12 to 3 Eastern.